So in this video, we're going to see about the 11 ways by which you can make effective ANKI flashcards. If you're new to ANKI is this amazing flashcards app that helps you make flashcards and uses its own active recall and space repetition algorithm, and it helps you remember the topics effortlessly. I mean, not exactly effortlessly, you have to put some real hard work, but however, instead of having to plan your space repetition on your own, instead of having to worry about active recall, it forces you to use active recall on your own, and it automatically gives you the particular flashcards by the time you're about to forget some particular questions. So ANKI is literally amazing. So without further ado, let's jump into the topic. Point number 1 is try to make one-liner flashcards. Instead of talking about this, maybe I should show how you make a one-liner flashcard. Here you can see the highlighted portion which says the space between the two eyelids is the palpebral fissure. It is extremely simple. You're going to copy this and simply paste here. This is a card already. So yeah, now we have saved the card also, and now we'll be able to attend this card in future. However, I have tweaked this a little bit and I have made this as make one concept flashcards. Even when it comes to anatomy, it's not like we are supposed to memorize everything, right? There are some particular concepts, we need to retain some concepts as well. For example, coming to physiology and biochemistry, most of them are not like exactly like one-liners. We are supposed to like know some concepts. So I felt, why shouldn't we incorporate concepts into ANKI cards? So make conceptual ANKI cards. For example, write urea cycle. So this is like a one-liner, but in fact it is a one conceptor, if that makes any sense. So one conceptor, yeah, that sounds pretty. This is not particularly efficient as making one-liner cards. However, it will help you get a good idea on the overall concept, because you always need to have a bigger picture, right? You always need to have a bird's eye view of what you are studying. So these one concept cards will help you retain such information. For example, we can see in this card. So this is the ANKI card we have. It basically asks you for the urea cycle. You're just supposed to think of the whole urea cycle and put it here. So once we flip, we can see. So this is the answer. It will be talking about the complete urea cycle. So because of this, you're going to have an overall picture. And in the top right, we can see that I have talked about N-acetyl glutamate, which acts as the obligate allosteric activator of CPS1. This is the other card that I made out of that one conceptor card. So this is the one-liner card that I made from the one conceptor card, and this particularly asks me for that one top right portion of that card alone. That is, we have seen that it is about obligate allosteric activator, and here this question asks me about the obligate allosteric activator, and when I flip it, we can see the answer. That is, N-acetyl glutamate is the obligate allosteric activator, and I have given one extra pic also. Point number 2 is please be consistent. This is one humongous mistake I did. I didn't do cards for almost 1 month, and now guess how many cards I have. I have around 4,500 cards to complete. So I am still struggling. Even now I'm currently working on completing all those cards. So please don't do the mistake that I did. Be consistent. By this, you can make sure everything works well. And also, only for consistent, the space repetition and active recall algorithm will work properly. Obviously, because the algorithm is designed in such a way that it will show the flashcard at the right time you're forgetting. So whenever a flashcard is present in ANKI, it means it is about to be lost from your brain. So you're supposed to go and work on the flashcard right away. But however, in my case, I have 4,000 cards to go, which means I have 4,000 information that is running outside of my brain. So I'm literally losing those 4,000 information as I'm talking in this mic, and it really hurts me. Point number 3 is add pics to various questions. Pics are magical. For example, I remember my friend asking me about Keher sign. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So it spells something like KHR. So in this sign, what happens is that due to splenic hemorrhage, we'll be having pain in this region. I actually had a card about this in my ANKI deck. But however, if it was not for the image that I added in the ANKI deck, then definitely I wouldn't be able to recall this question. The Keher sign alone sounds weird. So by adding the pics, you're able to recall the information much better. Point number 4 is keep it simple. Don't make it so fancy looking. For example, the liver is divided into 2 lobes. That's all. This is the question. So what is the nerve supply for biceps brachium? That's all. This is the question. So only if it is simple, you are likely to work on the questions in the future. Point number 5 is use cloze deletions only. I mean it, use only cloze deletions. But everyone at the start, if you're a beginner, you're going to be using only the basic card. That is, the front and back will be available. So however, the cloze deletions is pure magic. While I entered into ANKI, I felt cloze deletion to be super stupid. You're probably thinking that I am nuts also now. But once you start using cloze deletions, about which I'll be talking in detail in my future videos, so stay tuned. Cloze deletions, simply put in layman's term, it means fill in the blanks. That's it. fill in the blanks. So using cloze deletions, you can memorize entire paragraph relatively easily. Point number 6 is make Anki your second brain. Accepted, we both are dumb. Our brain is more dumb. It is not even able to store information for 2 days. Like learn something, in another 2 days, you won't remember that. Simple, that's it. That's how our brain works. So what you need is, you need an artificial second brain. So that's what we have Anki for. So what I mean is, whatever you're studying, just put it into Anki. So even if your brain forgets it, you know that all the information you ever need to know is inside Anki. So that is going to make your life much easier. It is going to reduce all the stress in your life. Point number 7, use add-ons for Anki. Add-ons are ways by which you can customize your Anki. There are tons and tons and tons of add-ons already present in the internet. Just go search for the internet and can get variety of add-ons. But don't use many add-ons. Limit to around 5 add-ons. That's it. You can use only 5 add-ons. I'll be talking about add-ons in my future videos also. There are some amazing add-ons. We have timer add-on, freeze add-on, image occlusion add-on. So you can definitely check them out. Point number 8, add mnemonics into Anki, because we will be learning tons of mnemonics. But then when it comes to the exam, we don't know which mnemonic we have set for some particular topic. And here I am going to be typing mnemonic. And once I type it on mnemonic, and this shows me the list of all the questions that have the word mnemonic. And I have planned this previously. Like if a question has a particular mnemonic, I'm going to type the word mnemonic out loud. So you can see this here. So because of this, it's as if the complete list of mnemonics is by my side the whole time. If I simply type mnemonic, it's going to come up. The complete list is going to come up. For example, here it is about the deletion of P16. And this leads to the variety of different types of tumors and cancers. And the mnemonic for that which I have created is SPMABCDE. And this is extremely helpful. And next point is add drug of choice to Anki. Like we know drug of choice is pretty important, right? I made separate questions for drug of choice, and all the drug of choice is in my Anki deck. So now if I ever need to know about drug of choice, I can simply type drug of choice, and every drug of choice that I have ever studied till now will be available in my Anki. And the next point is, there are tons and tons of pre-made decks already. That is, people have already made their flashcards and everything is roaming inside the internet. Everything is available to download for free. However, I would like to caution you that don't completely rely on pre-made decks. Making our own decks are also really useful. I'll be talking about this in detail in my future videos, but for now, let me say this. When you're making your own deck, you're making it in your own style, you're making it from your own content, and also when you're making your own deck, you're making your brain think about what question should a particular topic have. For example, which is in the right side, IVC or aorta. You're creating a question, so by this, you'll be creating more stronger links in your brain. Yeah, definitely making your own cards are time consuming and they're pretty boring also, not going to lie. But however, let me say that it is totally worth it. But there are many pre-made decks available in the internet, so make sure you check them out as well. Point number 11, the most vital point is organize your deck properly from the beginning. In my Anki, I have decks named first year, second year, and in first year, we'll be having anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and in second year deck, I'll be having pathology, pharmacology, and microbiology. So whenever in the future, if I ever need to know about pharmacology, I don't have to do much work. Simply click second year MBBS and simply click pharmacology and all my questions will be available. And also inside pharmacology also, I have added a separate deck for every single chapter. So this makes it much easier. And also there is this amazing feature called tagging also. I'll be talking about that in my future videos. Basically, this video is like an absolute introduction for all the future videos that I have planned in the future. So stay tuned. And as always, thank you for watching. See you soon.